It taught me a lot of things doing this project, and what comes to mind is two quotes. Great people do things before they're ready. They do things before they know they can do it. Doing what you're afraid of, getting out of your comfort zone, taking risks like that is what life is. You might be really good. You might find out something about yourself that's really special, and if you're not good, who cares? You tried something, now you know something about yourself. And then the final quote would be, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. I had no idea how this process would turn out, but I'm glad I took that leap of faith back in July of 2019. Alright, what's up everyone? So, I finally got the samples from Thailand. Thank freaking goodness. So, let me quickly go over exactly what it is. This is a cassava root plus the PLA cornstarch that we had talked about. So this material is actually pretty awesome. It's exactly what I was looking for. This is really, really good stuff. So something about this product that you guys may not know is you can put this in water and in 7 days it goes away. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. It's got the whole 90 days or less. In fact, I think that they can do it in 72 days to where if you put it outside, it'll disappear in 72 days. But they sent me a couple different versions of it. And what I'm being told right now is they can actually do my design with this without changing anything. Now, they may just be saying that to get my business, but we are going to find out. But I got this stuff today. You can actually even see, like, I don't know if you guys can see this in the photo or not, but you can actually see like pieces of the cassava root that are still in the actual container itself. But this stuff is really, really awesome, and I'm really super excited about this. This is exactly what I wanted. So I sent a message to the guy that we have in Thailand after we paid him. Remember, he was on strike, so we sent him some money. So now he's back on board. He sent us the samples. And so I just messaged him and told him, like, love the samples. Can you give me a DFM, which is essentially the cost that it's going to be to make the hard tooling for my design, and to see exactly how much it's going to cost for this and everything. But super promising. Very, very happy with these samples. Now we just have to make sure the cost is right and that we get all of that squared away, because the initial pricing that they sent was rather high. You're talking almost 70 cents a container, and for me to be profitable and everything with shipping and fees on Amazon and things like that, I've got to get that price lower. So I'm interested to see what they can do with the price and if they can get it lower, because I definitely want to go with this company in Thailand, because this is really, really good stuff. So that's where we're at. The company in China got back to me yesterday. They can basically do most of the design, not the exact design though, so I would have to file a new patent. But we'll see. I told them to send me the costs and everything, so I expect that by Friday. So my goal is to come back on Friday. Today's November 5th. So my goal is to come back on Friday and have both the costs from both companies so I can compare and contrast. What I may do is go with China first, then switch to Thailand once I've got some revenue in. But ideally, I'd like to stick with Thailand, do with Thailand the entire time. But everything has to be right. I can't just make the product for the mess of it when I don't know if the prices aren't right. It's not going to be profitable. So that's where I'm at, and I will see you guys on Friday.
So David, why don't you just kind of explain where you're at and where you think we're at in the scheme of things, and then Sang, we got a little bit of request from you about next steps of what we want to go to. So David, just explain kind of where we're at, what you're thinking based on what you know so far.
Yeah, so Sang and I, of course, have been talking back and forth. I think that I told him the UV pack material is really the best material that I've seen thus far from both China and Thailand. But Sang also says that it's very expensive for us to make the whole container out of this material right now. So we're looking at possibly doing the UB pack top with the sugarcane bagasse bottom. Now the only issue with that is possibly the thickness of the sugarcane bagasse can only be like a 1 millimeter thick. So our concerns are the railing where the lid slides on. It's not tight. It's not going to be a snug enough fit.
Hybrid material, right? Base out of something, top out of something, right? And we've come up with some suggestion on that. But you're concerned about thickness of material. Can we meet any of the specs that we're looking for on both? Is that what you're saying, David, or no?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's just a matter of them being able to match up. We'd have to go with two different companies and trust that the thickness and everything is going to match and work out well.
So is UB Pack able to make both material? Or
Yeah.
are you saying no? I know you
No.
said two different companies.
No.
They can. UB Pack, no. Go ahead, Sam.
Right, so UP pack is specific based on the cornstarch. And so that's totally different technology and then the process between the cornstarch and the sugar cane.
Okay, so UB Pack is proficient on the cornstarch cassava flour, version of material. Okay, what's wrong between the two of you? What's wrong with both out of the same material then, cornstarch and cassava flour? You're saying it's too expensive to do it that way? So we need to understand what's our priority. I think our priority, David, is the feature set. We want to have a locking lid and we want to have a locking mechanism. I think closest to the patent is what we want. However, if we can play with the thickness of the base, that's okay, right, for pricing considerations. But we got to have the dynamics what we want. We want to be able to have a durable enough container, right, and then obviously with all the feature sets of biodegradability and plus reusability, or be able to be exposed to temperature, both cold and hot, at least temporarily. But so what do we think the base should be made out of then? If we think the cover needs to be made out of what we talked about, cornstarch and cassava flour, right? What should the base be made out of? That's right, maintain a certain thickness, right?
Yeah, so right now I put into like two options. One is with a sugar cane. And that's why I'm asking David last night about, hey, how heavy that you think you're gonna put the stuff into it, like approximately a pound, right?
Yeah.
So they haven't tried to do that one yet. So if the base is made by a sugar cane and be able to hold a fruit or whatever the stuff for a pound, and then be able to slide it in with the lid that made from cornstarch, that can fit close to our target price, about 38, 39 cents. That's the best so far right now. That we didn't even pushing them yet.
Yep.
So, like, what I got from Sang was trying to make everything out of the UV pack stuff is going to be like way higher, almost. I mean, I think you said close to like high, like 60s, low 70 cents in cost for like UV pack to do the whole container.
Right now, okay, the tray, yeah, that's the cornstarch with the UP pack with both like cover and the tray is approximately 50 cents or 54 cents, something like that, right? With a 2.5 millimeter thick for both pieces, top and the bottom 2.5 2.5, and that's how strong, how they
2.5 millimeter.
kind of hitting it.
Okay.
Do you think that they can get to under 50 cents if we go to 2 millimeters?
That's why I still believe in it, so that's why I approached to them that, hey, if you're willing to try it, then it might be possible to take off.
Because honestly, if I'm thinking about this, like this is the best material I've seen, and I've seen a bunch of bamboo and sugarcane bagasse samples, and the UV pack samples are the best I've seen. So I would say if we can get the entire container made of this material, and it can be less than 50 cents for now, I think we could proceed with that. 2 millimeters, you know, if we can get 2 millimeters, I think that'd be plenty. This 2.5 is pretty thick. I think 2 would be fine. If we can get it under 50 cents, I'm ready to rock and roll with that, because I think as we do business with them, we can probably get it cheaper.
Sure, yeah, exactly. So because they.
All right, so here's where we're at. Basically, both manufacturers came back with the price. China was roughly $2.50 per unit, which that's before shipping, that's before paying any fees, that's before packaging even. So super expensive, and they're kind of not understanding the idea of what we're going for. However, the company in Thailand, they get it, they know what's going on. Unit price is a lot less. We're talking sub 60 cents right now, which is good. I mean, I need it to be even better, but comparative to the other markets and what we're dealing with, like it's a really good price. So what I did was I got a quote from the company in Thailand. I'm not sure if you guys can see this very well or not, but essentially what the quote is saying is it's going to cost $20,000 before ordering anything. The way that's broken down is they're charging $6,551 for the mold for my lid. They're charging $8,103 for the tray. And then they're charging a $5,340 cost for the trialing and processing. What the trialing and processing is essentially determining the thickness that we can make this product. And I sent them one sheet of paper basically explaining what everything in this product needed to be. Like, it needed to be able to hold 16 ounces of food. It needed to be able to hold like 10 pounds of pressure placed upon it, you know, from the top. So that's going to determine the thickness and the cost. We're going with like, I would say 1.5 millimeters basically of thickness, and then we're going to go up from there. So we're actually going to go with this color. Now, I initially didn't want to go with the brown, but after hearing what their feedback and everything, like the tan one that I did have that I liked is too thick. It's like 2 millimeters, and with that, the costs are just too much. So this material here is the same stuff, but they're able to go a little bit thinner. It's basically changing up. There's 4 different ingredients in this container. It's training up what percentage of what goes into each one to where they can make it this. So this container is still, it's really nice. I love this thing. I'm excited to see what they do with it, but this is the color we're going to use. My logo will probably go on the bottom here, not sure yet. The lid's definitely going to have it. We just got to see where we can actually put it on this. The bottom of it may just say biodegradable and compostable and things like that. So more to come on that. So they sent that over, the quote for the $20,000. In order to get this project started, hopefully you guys can see this, I had to wire the company in Thailand 50% for them to go ahead and get started. So I wired them $9,997.59, and then that's 50% of it. Then we're looking at another 30% is due when the mold is complete, and they're saying the mold's going to take 30 to 40 days to complete. So then I'll wire them that 6,000 roughly, whatever that is, in 30 days. And then after they get done with the trialing process and we actually figure out the actual thickness of the material, then we'll send the remaining 20%. So $20,000 in cost. That's not counting my first order. That's not counting packaging design. That's not counting anything else. So to date, I think, I gotta double check. I think we're 29 to 30,000 in. after all this, and then we'll see where we're at with the first order. But this is where things start to ramp up and get really exciting, because now that I've locked in the manufacturer, we've signed a contract, we're working together now. This is where things start to, I would say, speed up a little bit. So this will be kind of like the last boring video, you could say, of me just talking a bunch. The next video, I'm actually going to fly to Thailand and visit with the manufacturer and go over the actual prototypes and stuff like that. So very excited for that. Like I said, though, that'll be 30 to 40 days from now. So I expect to probably fly to Thailand right after Christmas. So I'd imagine first week of January, depending on all their holidays and stuff. But right now, the plan is to fly to Thailand, to visit the manufacturer, to discuss packaging, shipping, all of that. And so, pretty exciting stuff. Excited to share this with you guys. And thanks for following along so far. The next video won't be posted for probably 5 to 6 weeks. But it'll actually be a lot better, I'm sure, because you'll actually get to see me going to Thailand and things like that. So, thanks for those that have followed along, and please stay tuned for more stuff. Thanks.